Welcome back to My Life Lessons by Lisa Maria. Thank you for following me and taking this journey with me. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the like and subscribe buttons below and feel free to share. If my Facebook page, Lisa's Life Lessons, directed you to my YouTube channel, Lisa Maria Huggins, I thank you for following the link. In telling my story, my testimony, if you will, I felt the need to go back somewhat to the beginning. I am passionate and anxious about starting this far back because I know firsthand the devastating effects my choices have made on my life from a young age. And although I have been clean for over 7 years now, and I will get into that later on, I have found that some folk, a lot of folk, mainly a lot of church folk, refuse to let my past go. That in itself, I allowed to play a part in some of my setbacks. Another topic for part 2. I have let it go. God has forgiven me, and I have forgiven myself. And I am growing into my potential and purpose for the better each and every day. Having said that, let's get started. I started smoking weed and cigarettes when I was 14 years old. I did it because I wanted to fit in, I wanted to be cool, and be able to be around a certain group of people I thought were cool at the time. I must mention this because I have nieces, nephews, and grandchildren in or around this age group that are being pressured daily by society and or their friends. I wanted to bring it out because we all want to fit in and belong somewhere. Being pressured or even just wanting to fit in and belong, trying to find their identity, they don't know, like I didn't at the time, the slippery slope that this leads to. I do my best to give advice and warn, but in the end, it's an individual decision. I'm going to briefly mention a conversation that I had with a few of my nieces many years ago about the pitfalls of falling for the lies men tell. I was brutally honest and made them laugh. However, as I learned later, years later, they never forgot the honest way I brought it across. Renee, you know the conversation I'm speaking about, and I'll leave it at that. At the time, I was going to an all-white, no, I may have been one of the 10 blacks at the school at the time, and I was ridiculed by my peers for being an Oreo, a black person on the outside, yet behaves, acts as a white person. Go figure. I still can't help that I know how and when to speak properly. Yet at that time, they made me feel bad about myself just for, number one, I was smart, I paid attention in school, and loved to read. I still do. And number two, I was in show business. Mildly successful, modeling and TV commercials. And at that time, being a dark-skinned black person was not popular at all. A few of the many roles I tried out for went to Irene Cara. Look her up. Yet I didn't and wasn't allowed to party. I realize now that as controlling as my parents were, they were doing what they thought was best. I didn't go out to parties with them on Friday nights or Saturday nights, and the Saturday afternoons I did spend with them, they were all smoking weed. There was some beer drinking and cigarettes involved too. At first, I didn't really like it, but it made me fit in, so I got used to it. And that was the start of an on-again, off-again love affair with numbing my feelings. Feelings of insecurity about show business, friends, and family spiraled up and down. Even though I was told I was pretty and smart, I didn't believe it or even feel it. I thought I had had a handle on the drugs for years until I finally realized that using had a handle on me. I wound up in situations I didn't want to be in because of choices I made to use and get more. Earlier on, during my cocaine era, it meant me choosing men who successfully dealt drugs and not the kid on the corner, his boss's boss. That's a chapter for my book. The starting and stopping was hectic. And yes, NA, Narcotics Anonymous, works if you work it. It's also true when each time I picked it back up, it got progressively worse. I started out with weed and cigarettes, moved to drinking alcohol and cocaine, and then finally crack. I had an on-again, off-again love affair with crack for 15 years. So now that I'm clean and sober, I thank God for keeping my mind and my body. My message is one of hope for those who chose to look to their higher power. I straight up call him God. He can do the impossible. It is our stinking thinking that makes it a lot more complicated than it should be. And although church is supposed to be a place for the sick and suffering to come to receive healing and salvation, whoa, I completely understand why people stay away from the church. First-hand experience. Church folk who are supposed to welcome you as you are with open arms will look at you, look you in your face, and not speak as you walk through the door with a look of, you don't belong here. What the mess? Ugh! I will talk about this more in part 2. Just know I am not new to this. I am true to this. Let us lead and guide these young people towards making better choices and showing them there is more to life than what they see on TV, IG, and Facebook. That it's okay to be different and want more. It's okay to be the first to try something that they believe they can do. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Part 2 coming soon.